Hi guys, you're welcome back to the channel Dominance. Anthony here, and please like and subscribe, and also turn on that notification bell if you're enjoying the content and want to see more. So in today's video, now this is my own opinion based off the 2020 season and from the games that have been played so far. I know the league in 2020 had percentage point outcome based on wins, and teams like Catalan played 13 games while Wakefield played 19, but these are only points of reference for 2021. So with that, we are now 3 games in, as I mentioned, and here are my choices for the League Leaders Shield. Not who will win in the postseason, culminating at Old Trafford on the 9th of October 2021. So Wigan Warriors seem to be there and thereabouts every single year, whether it's a Wayne side or an Adrian Lamb side, because of the foundations built from back in the day with Michael Maguire. He had a philosophy about playing rugby league and he kept to it, which Sean Wayne made tougher to beat, less flair but more tougher to play against, which might stead the England team in this coming World Cup, put them in good stead. But back to Wigan, Adrian Lamb needs to realise that the young forwards like Liam Byrne and Ethan Havard are pivotal to how they all play, whether it's going forward or defending. They seem to use them and Oliver Partington for the beat 'em up of the opponent's defenders, attackers, while using the interchange quite well. They must keep Tommy Lulai, Jackson Hastings, Bevan French all fit, even Sam Powell, because them four seem to be the leaders on the pitch going forward, as well as Lulai and Powell leading the attack, the defence, to protect the players like Jackson Hastings, who does get involved in the tackles, and Bevan French for his explosive going forward. Warrington seem to have Gareth Widdop playing really well. He's their main star at this point, and they need to keep him fit, because I know they have some decent backup for players, as well as Blake Austin, who plays every single game, and that partnership will be really good. But the star quality seems to be Gareth Widdop. Unfortunately, it's like the away fans say to them, or visiting fans when they're away play at their team, it's always their year. Can Steve Price take that step one further to win it all? Just don't know. Like I said, it all depends on Gareth Widdop staying fit, so that the money that's been ploughed into this team to create this team as it is into being the champions when it comes to the grand final in October. So my first of the 3 teams that I'm choosing to be in with a shout of the League Leaders Shield is Hull FC. The reason for that is that with the signing of Josh Reynolds, the grand finalist with the Canterbury Bulldogs, means that Jake Connor can play at fullback and learn off Josh Reynolds to go into a future standoff position, as he was wearing number 6 and also playing standoff last year. And Carlos Tumavarbi, who can go back into the centre. It means you've got Josh Reynolds, Mark Sneed, Danny Houghton, all playing at the same time for Hull KR, and that's with the backup of Jake Connor being a full back, but also a ball handling back. They have got the attacking flair. with Brett Hodgson coming on board as their coach. Hull at this time seem to be an attacking force. Josh Reynolds is a big time player. He's 32-year-old and played for Canterbury Bulldogs and West Tigers down in the NRL, and formed deadly halfback partnerships with Luke Brooks and Benji Marshalls with the West Tigers. He reunites with Brett Hodgson after arriving in the UK, who he worked with at West Tigers also, so they know each other's games inside out more or less. Still have to go into the team structure. There are a big pack and backs. Beretta Furiamo on the wing. Carlos Tumavami looks like that he's put on some muscle mass for this season. He was a big fella anyhow, but he looks bigger in the games that I've seen. Then they've got Manny Fanua on one side with Josh Griffiths on Aussie's inside centre. You've got Big Scott Taylor, who's been the same marauding forward that he has been throughout his career. And I remember watching Andre Savelio play for St Helens. He was a big fella then, but he wasn't the size that he is now. He looks like that is going to be powerful for this season, and that'll be good for them. There'll be more than a match for any of the big packs that are out there. For instance, Catalan with their pack with Gil Dudson, Mike McMeekin. They're the two that come off the top of my head at this point. There'll be more on that pack a little bit later on in the video, but so I'm excited to see what Hull can do. The only minus that I have is that I hope Brett Hodgson has got out of them their late season, shall we say, drop off. The previous campaigns that they played, they seem to go all gung ho, and then a few injuries, a few bans, some defeats. They seem to lose confidence. Yes, they won the Challenge Cup a couple of years back, but they should have pushed on for that. They should have been absolutely gunning for it. I know they've had injuries to Mark Sneed, and the other combinations haven't quite worked out yet because of the potential that they might work out in the future. Being that Josh Reynolds is 32 years old, 3 or 4 years in him, but there's also scope to teach players like Jake Connor, as I mentioned, to progress his already good game. It's only a benefit. So we go on to my next pick. So my second team I picked was Catalan Dragons. They've had an impressive start, and at the time of this recording, they are 20 points to 0 up against Salford at home, obviously. But some big hit there. That was James Maloney. It's called as a high tackle. Anyway, that's one of the players that will be key for the Catalan team, James Maloney. And with the form that Sam Tompkins has been showing in this early season games, as we're on game 4 for them, including the Challenge Cup game, there's every chance that they could be pushing for the League Leaders Shield this year, because of the opening through of the Super League. For instance, they're playing in Catalan at this moment in time, so they are able to cross the English Channel to play against all the English teams, and the English teams can come over, so they'll be able to pass the 13 games. They're already almost a quarter away to that anyhow. So they have some experience in the halfbacks with Josh Drinkwater and James Maloney, as I said, plus with the signing of Gil Dudson as a replacement, not directly, of Sam Moore. Julian Busquets is still there, and also Mike McMeekin signing this season. Plus with Sam Cassiano, who was the player I was trying to allude to a little bit further on. It's one big group of individuals playing. Not seen much of Joe Tompkins so far this season. So if they can get players like Michael McAlorum back fit and keep James Maloney fit, they've got leaders and pivots and ball players on the park. The only thing that I do say about them is they seem to be a one-out team. Drilled in defence, but then expected to do the unexpected when going forward. Getting these players into position is one of the main jobs which they're looking at, but they're expecting them to execute the plays, move them about, rather than having these real structured moves. It's biff bang wallop up the middle, spread the ball a little, give it to the four that I mentioned: Drinkwater, McAlorum, Tompkins, Sam, and James Maloney. I keep repeating James Maloney, but he is a top player as well. They have got some French flair in there with Benjamin Julien, Benjamin Garcia, Fouid Yaha on the wing, who had a little bit of time in rugby union, which didn't really pay off as he would like, and came back to the Catalan Dragons. The centre pairing of Sami Langi and Dean Ware are ones to look out for. Now that Israel Folau has indeed left the Catalan Dragons, at the point of this recording, Israel Folau has no club, but moved back to the back to Australia, with views to get back into the NRL, and also, more importantly, to be closer to his family. I would expect that Tom Davis would score around about 15 tries a season, this season again, because of the 16 that he scored last year in all competitions, and Matt Whitley to be consistent as he normally is in the second row, coming up as support and defensive roles. They need more than their star players to trigger their offensive plays, as they need a bit more structure, a bit more scouting towards how the defences act and everything like that. It's not anything about the players, I think that's more about the coaching. I've been a bit sceptical about Steve McNamara, but he could come good. He could be the one that's masterminding all this. I do hope so. But at this moment in time, I think that's where Catalan fall down, is that they're expecting their players to do something out of nothing for their attacks. Like the first try today, it was a ball to one of the players, who decided, I'm going to go that way instead, which left a gap for the Salford players, and he went in under the sticks. Seems like a one-out play. Anyway, that's my second choice. I will go on to choice 3. My last choice is St Helens, the team that won the grand final at the Cacom Stadium last season at the 2020. Going on the St Helens side, they've got England internationals like Tommy Makinson and Johnny Lomax. Makinson, who scores a spectacular, and Lomax, who's developing into a great standoff, to be fair, because he's being backed up with players like Lachlan Coots, Theo Farge, who keeps getting better and better every season. Got James Roby in there, experience, churns out performances every single game, high tackle counts, everything. Then he's got his big pack. Alex Walmsley, Matty Lees, Joel Thompson, who came in and has been knocking players about, Morgan Knowles, Carl Amor. They're huge men. They're not just big men with some decent halfbacks that are throwing them about, and they got Tommy Makinson, as I mentioned, Mark Percival, another England international, that have been leading away in point scoring for St Helens. Regan Grace, the Welsh international, who's an absolute flyer. I remember his hat-trick last season. 2 of those were long ranges and worthy of winning any match on their own. But they've also got youngsters like James Bentley, Jack Wellesby, Aaron Smith. Even though they've got a core of experienced players, they're getting more and more young players involved in the squad, so that they can bring the next level players, next generation of players, to continue the domination. And with a coach with Christian Wolff, they're well drilled, they're set up. Last year they conceded the least amount of points during their, I think it was 17 games that they played in the 2020 season. So go forward was excellent. I know I did a little comment in a video last week about how they played against Wakefield. That was more to do with Wakefield's grit and determination in the first half, but they put Saints in the second half, put them to the sword after they scored the first try. Just kept going with the points. 32-6, I think it ran out. 34-6, sorry. It ended up in the end. So it shows that they're patient. They're willing to mix it up with any team, and have the quality to go through the teams to win. Points will be coming from Lachlan Coote for the conversion, for the extra point, should I say, but making some with his finishing, and Regan Grace with his blistering pace to get through those broken lines. I know they're not just them two, because they always set up, because Theo Farge doesn't mind running with the ball to attack the lines. Johnny Lomax setting players up, and Alex Walmsley can run. Well, last season he did a 30-yard dash, getting the ball over the line to score. So yeah, I think they're going to be. I think they could win it all this year, Saints, and that's tough for me to say, being that I support Wigan in the Super League. But they have the quality. All it takes, though, is one slip up along the way, or a couple of injuries. Yes, they could fill the gaps with players that know the roles and players that are leaders. But it may be too much to look at these youngsters and rely on them for a full season if the worst comes to worst. But Lomax and Farge seem to be mainstays in the Saints team, and don't take too much time, if they are hurt, to rebound. So that's a testament to the medical staff, the coaching, the conditioning that is involved at St Helens. And the Red V will more than likely win at least one of the 3 trophies that they're involved in for this season. And that's it, guys. That's my views on who's going to be involved in the top 3 for the League Leaders Shield during this 2021 Super League season. If you have any other options, please leave them in the comments below. I do appreciate your feedback. It's all great. And the positive feedback. I do appreciate everyone who's got in touch to tell me what they like, what they don't like, what I should do better, what they've never thought of doing before. It's all great feedback. I do enjoy it, and thank you so much for keeping it up. Keep going with the positive feelings, because it helped me get more confident for you to give you all the information at a quick time when you need it. And also, guys, keep spreading the word, because the race to 100 is still on. You could be one of the lucky recipients of Dominance t-shirts. 10 people can win these t-shirts. Come on, come on. Get subscribing. Spread the word. I love you all for watching the videos, and the video counting is going up and up and up. And thank you so much for taking the time out. Anyway, I'll leave you now and say see you in the next video. Take care.